Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And please help me welcome to the channel, Jason Tempinski. Hey,
Hello.
Jason.
Hi, thank you for having me. It took a little bit to get here.
You're more than welcome. Apparently, Spirit is telling us, A, we're going to have a good time, and
Yeah.
B, you think you're in control? Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it's too easy, then you get in your head too much. So I think this is exactly how it's supposed to go. So
Exactly. So, welcome everyone that is joining us. Welcome to the folks from Jason's channel. It's nice to have you here. And, business end of things out of the way. Don't forget, please, to like, share, and subscribe to both channels. I do have Jason's link in the description of the video below. Give the video a thumbs up and all that good stuff. And once Jason and I get to know each other a little bit, we'll do some readings.
yeah.
Yes. So how do you get in on a reading? Well, I'm going to be using, the fickle finger of fate to determine who gets a reading. And most of you know that's the StreamYard giveaway tool. So in order to enter, in the comments below, please type in #Monday. And then stick around. Watch how it works. The only thing I will say is if you do get picked, you have to let us know you're here. Otherwise, we'll just go on with someone else. That way we're not, kind of sitting back and saying, hello, is so-and-so here? Hi. So there you go. So, Jason, folks want to know all about you. So what's your story?
Oh wow. Let's see. I'll keep it short. So I saw that there were some people asking about QHHT.
Yes.
I think that's probably the best way to start. QHHT, for those of you who don't know, is the quantum healing hypnosis technique. It was developed by Dolores Cannon. And the way I got in, I would never ever think I would be doing hypnosis. I mean, it was one of those things that exists, but chickens clucking on stages, people being really embarrassed. And so that's the only thing that I really knew about it. I picked up one of her books. I was in grad school for counseling, and I just really wanted something else to read besides counseling books. And I grew up in Las Vegas in Area 50. Well, not in the Area 51, but
Close.
In the general vicinity. And I was actually really terrified of aliens when I was a kid. But I had an uncle that would send me these books. I don't know why. It was kind of cruel, with, ironically, hypnosis of people being regressed to abductions and stuff like that. I didn't sleep very much when I was a child. But Dolores had a book on, which one was it? I'm completely blanking. The Custodians. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And it'd been a long time since I read a book. I think I knew it was a little bit about hypnosis, but it was nothing like I expected. Everything was connected. ETs weren't something to be scared of. And I kept reading more, and I kept reading more, and I kept reading more. And then I found out, oh my gosh, you can learn this technique. But I was in grad school at the same time. Yeah. But I found myself, I was like rushing through the schoolwork to read these or listen to these books. And I fought for a really long time with my higher self and such. Like, I can't give up school. I can't do that. And I decided to do the training, and it was, I fought along the way. Like, what is this? It doesn't take a degree and all that.
Yeah.
But I did it. And it was the best decision I ever made, because it put my whole life in perspective, all the different hats I've worn, different careers, teaching and hospitality and all this different stuff. And it's made it into this perfect little mix. And then
Yes.
I've had sessions where I started having sessions where there were kind of hints that I have abilities and everything else, which my mom has said since I was really small. So
Yep.
that's kind of where it all started, and it's progressed from there. And it's brought the magic back into my life. And I was one of those kids that liked the fairies and leprechauns, and so it's really it's my calling. So that's how I'm here.
Yes, perfect. And that's exactly, I think, what QHHP does. Uh, I I had several sessions a number of years ago
Mm-hmm.
with a practitioner here in Calgary,
Mm-hmm.
and initially I belong to a local tarot group, and we
Mm-hmm.
meet every Sunday. And that she had come into our meeting, which at that time, I mean, we always get together in a pub, sports bar, whatever, so that we socialize first, and then we
Mm-hmm.
do readings for people who are there, right? You practice. And I saw this woman approaching us, and I just felt this overwhelming knowledge.
Mm.
Like, oh, there you are. And so she came up and she looked at me and she said, "Hi, my name is Ella." And I said, "Yes, Ella Enchanted. How are you?" So we sat down, we started a conversation, very easy conversation. Um, and she came in to get a reading.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Absolutely, be more than glad to do it for you." And a lot of things came up in the reading that she just kind of sat back and was going, uh-huh, uh-huh. And then when we were done, she said, "You, my friend, are special." And that's when she told me that she was a QHHT practitioner and so on, and asked me if I was possibly interested in getting a session. I said, "Are you
Mm-hmm.
kidding? Sign me up." Do you have time now? Can we do it now? So there was a lot of things like you that after the first session, so many things made sense.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that's why that happened. That's why this didn't make any sense. And total validation of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, one of the things that I was sort of dealing with was I had been at that point divorced for a good number of years, and I wasn't interested in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing serious, nothing solid. I have friends, I have you know uh, I do date, but there was just I didn't feel that need.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had asked me to write down some questions that I would be able to ask my higher self. And along with me kind of being hesitant about the relationship, I was also getting a lot of people who were saying, "Look, you're still a young woman. You can still, get married, get remarried. You can still do this. You can still do that." And it didn't feel right. So one of the questions I asked is, why am I so resistant to a
Mm-hmm.
relationship? And the
Mm-hmm.
answer was, because this lifetime you're doing this alone and you're okay with it. I thought, oh, see, told you, folks.
Yeah, and
So
I think that the really it all it it is a process, and
yes,
it makes you realize how many, like, how much conditioning you have in terms of even
Yes.
the smallest things. And, you don't have to be married, or, you don't have to be best friends with your brother and sister. Sometimes you're not supposed to. I mean, it's all these
Yes.
things that really break it's amazing how much stress we put on ourselves of things that we
Yes.
just have taken to be true. And then once we can get past that, and it's like, so much opens out in front of you, or, for you, I'm sure it's like, oh, I don't need to waste time
Yes,
stressing about
exactly.
something that I don't
Yeah.
really want to do.
Yes. And
Yeah.
more than anything else, it was okay. There's nothing wrong with me for not wanting that.
Yeah.
Right? It's okay. I can take pleasure in being open to all kinds of possibilities, but um, I'm not putting pressure on myself to, well, time is
Hmm.
running out. You need it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And
Yeah.
it's so much more fun.
And I always, I always kind of like to slip in there that, trusting that inner voice is so important, because
Yes.
that's actually telling you why you're here, what you're supposed to do. And if you
Yeah.
don't do it, you're going to have to come back again and do it all over. And they always say it's going to be a lot harder the next time. And I haven't met one person that says, oh yeah, sure, sign me up, I'll do this again. So it's like,
Exactly.
don't waste your time stressing over what's going against your gut, I guess is the best way to put it.
Exactly. And it's when we give in,
Yeah.
when we say, okay, I'm going with the flow. I have faith that, the universe didn't send me here to trip me up.
Yeah.
It sent me here to succeed. So
Hmm.
stop swimming upstream, let it go, have things happen the way that they're supposed to. And life is so much easier and less complicated.
It
Right?
is.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. And so how did tarot come into that?
that I don't actually, I'm starting to teach myself about tarot. I bought a deck when I was maybe 10 or 11 that I still have, which
Oh,
is
wow.
kind of cool. Um, but it was one of those things that I didn't really have a lot of knowledge about before doing QHHT, and I
Yeah.
didn't have appreciation for it. Astrology was always something I was interested in, just as more fun. Through Dolores Cannon's books on Nostradamus in particular, I learned how much of a science it is and how amazing it can be. So that's kind of like on my bucket list of things that
Yes.
I want to learn more about. But I do use the oracle cards, but I've used them, I guess, in an unexpected. Well, I always kind of assumed it's like, if you're reading cards, why does, you're not really doing anything. It's like you're just
Yes.
telling people what the cards mean. But I learned very quickly that it was more just, it actually was validating like the
Yes.
stuff I was getting, and it was what they reflected back to me, like, oh, okay. It was almost, they're more like a support system for me. And so
Yes.
I do use those. I like the oracle cards, but there's something I feel like in my past lives surrounding tarot. I know I've been persecuted for various things and
Yeah.
killed. I
Yes.
kind of feel like that might be one of those things, because I'm always, I'm very open, but there is this, I don't know if I should be
Hesitant.
doing this type
Yes.
thing,
Yeah.
but I've gotten over that, just like the aliens. So,
Yes. Yeah. No,
the,
I get it. I get it.
yeah.
Yeah. The tarot and oracle, and I do have a lot of oracle cards, and I do
Hmm.
really enjoy the oracle, and they are. I find the cards are a tool. It's not,
Hmm.
they're a tool to get to the end. It's not like just a case of reading the card and saying, well, there you go, that's what it is. It's
Right.
I see it as a tool to kind of, like you say, validate what I'm already instinctively feeling, but
Hmm.
also to 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 guide the person who is getting the message to be to the point where they're receptive in getting what is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much more to it. And it's also
Yes.
how people react to certain images or certain ideas.
Yes.
And just the same as dreaming. It's like,
Yeah.
I know that there's those dream books. It's this means this means that. But then there's also, someone might be terrified of snakes, but someone might love them. So it's all a matter of
Exactly.
how you respond to it too. So
Yeah.
yes. So that's kind of, I've fallen into it and I trust it. And I know we get messages in different ways, and I'm a little bit more stubborn, so I think the cards are a good like, pay attention.
Yes. Yeah. I had a number of years ago, I got a clear message to make my own deck of cards. And I went, yeah, no. And then it kept coming up, and I kept saying, no. I'm not an artist. It's going to be embarrassing. No. But it kept coming in so strong that I finally kind of acted like a 5-year-old and said, fine, I'll do it. And it'll be total crap. And then I never have to hear about it again. So I did. I sat down and I made a deck, and got in touch with some friends and said, okay, so I made this thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So, maybe ask me to read on some things that we haven't discussed, something that I wouldn't know because we're friends. And that's how I started. That's how I started using the deck. So now I use it exclusively for personal readings. And it's because they tell me a story.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't, the images are not professional, but they don't have to be. I recognize they don't have to be. It's the message behind what is there is what's important. So yeah, I think I'm kind of like you when, spirit talks, it's like, oh, really? Yeah, no. Until, and when you get smacked upside the head so many times, it's like, okay, fine then, fine.
I mean, in my set, I had my first QHHT session maybe a year or two after I started doing it, just because there aren't a lot of practitioners around me. So it wasn't like easily accessible. And I know I think too much. I get too much in my head. It's been a lifelong problem. I am a perfectionist that I have to work on that every single day.
Are you an air sign? Are you an air sign?
No, I'm Cancer, actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I don't know. But a couple of days before the session, I woke up and in my head I heard, write your questions now and don't touch them into the session. So I was like, okay. So I just wrote some things down. It was that morning fog. They were good questions, but I went back to them and I added all these details and I added all this extra stuff and all this fluff and everything else. And then we got to the session, and probably 10 times throughout the session, my own higher self was laughing and going blah, 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 like at the questions, saying, we told him not to touch those questions. And this is one of those ones that he changed. We're not going to answer it. So it was really funny, but frustrating, but funny.
Yes.
They're just, and so it was just, so that was a good wake-up call for me when I heard myself saying to myself, blah, blah, blah. So whenever I get too in my head, I try to do the blah, blah, blah thing to make myself stop and move on.
Yes. Yeah. One of the questions that I had on my list, and it was at the bottom of the list, and I put it in just to be a little silly. I said, okay, what are the 649 jackpot numbers? And the response that I got back was, nice try. Fine. Fine. So yeah, Spirit with me has always had a good sense of humor in which which I think fits with my personality. If they
Yeah,
communicated any different way, I don't know that I would appreciate and listen, right?
that's exactly
Yeah.
the case. It really, and sometimes it's not pleasant, and it's, some there's been a couple times where someone might be whispering through their beginning of the session, and then I call for their higher self to come forward, and then it almost blows me off the chair in terms of volume. And
Yes.
a couple times it's been the matter of they kind of forget volume, what that means, and that it comes through too loud, and I have to ask them to turn it down. Or they say, this is the only way she's going to listen to us is if we're screaming, because
Yeah.
she talks too much, she doesn't listen. And in those cases, I kind of have to like suck it up and put on the earmuffs and be like, okay, let's go.
Exactly.
But it's true. It's that, our higher selves are much more familiar to us than we think that they would be, and that there's some type of, there are those people who have higher selves that are way, way out there, and they're usually very connected. And
Yes.
those higher selves are no room for fluff or human experience.
Yes.
It's like, that's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. This is what matters. It's very plain and simple. So it's always interesting to see.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So we've got a nice number of folks here. We've got 51 in the room so far, and several of you have decided that you would like to get in on possibly getting a reading. Perfect. And the way to do that is to, in the comment section, type in hashtag Monday. No space between the hashtag and the Monday. And we're going to let the fickle finger of fate decide who gets the readings. I think that's the only way to kind of keep it fair, right? Rather than trying to to do it any other way. So have you ever had a chance to use that tool before or seen it used?
I think I was on one show one time and someone used it, but that was the only time. So I actually kind of forgot about that. And I admittedly don't watch a lot of YouTube channels.
Except mine, of course. You watch
Yeah.
my channel all the time.
Yes. No, I like everything you have in place, though. It's very, I might
Thank
have
you.
to borrow some ideas from just
Oh,
the way you
absolutely.
set
Absolutely.
it up. And yes.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So we'll and L Lorraine, it's not hashtag readings, it's hashtag Monday. That's the only thing that the thing will pick up on. And so as we go through them, we will just do rather than specific questions, we'll just give you a general overall read of what you're currently dealing with and maybe a challenge that if you overcome it will get you to your goal. How's that?
That
Done.
works for me.
Excellent. All right. Let me show you the tool and let's push the button and hold on, add to stage. Yay. And I love to press this. All right, we've got 26 entries. Yay! So watch this. I love it. I love it. And the first person who's going to get a reading is Jenny Berlin. Yay! Well done,
Congratulations.
Jenny. Well done, Jenny. All right. So stay with us as we'll do the what's your current situation and how are you going to overcome it? Yeah. So if you've got cards already,
Mm-hmm.
go for it. Oh, I should have. So, Jenny, what I got for you is I got the Magician, which is telling me that you have all the tools that you need to get things moving, to get things done the way that you want them done. And how you're going to do that is you got to start believing in miracles. You know, you have all the tools. You're just second guessing yourself, and you're saying, it's like saying, well, I really would like to see an increase in my bank account. Oh, but how's that going to happen? Nobody owes me money. I don't know that. That's not your job. That's not your job. You put it out to the universe, and then you sit back and you wait for it to come in with the knowledge that it is absolutely coming in. So believe in miracles, and you'll get what you need.
That's interesting. So the first thing that I have a deck that has actually the Oracle card that's waiting for important information. This card's interesting because it's really, this is more about that even way back when, oracles, it wasn't so much about telling your future, it's about how to help you make the best decisions you can along your life path. So, and this is twofold in that it also acknowledges that we have that wisdom within ourselves. It's not something that's unique. It's just ironically what we were talking about before, and trusting what comes forward. There is recognition, the spring card, in terms of planting the seeds and let them grow, that you can't expect something to, you won't get a carrot just by, within seconds, so that it does take time. And the last card that just fell on the floor was the eagle, which is all about seeing things from a higher perspective. So making sure that, as much as we want things to happen right now and the right here, and, it's part of the human condition that things take a long time to manifest, that just knowing that as long as you put those hopes, wishes, dreams, needs out into the universe, that they'll come when you need them the most. And often
Absolutely.
when you kind of give up, in my case, it's like, haha, we gotcha.
Yeah, totally. And just want to bring up, Gray wanted to know, they said, I'm not certain if the chats are merged, but I'm not showing up on the other. The people who are on my channel will see the comments that are happening on my channel. The people that are in Jason's channel are going to see the comments made in Jason's channel. For right now, he and I, we can see all of the chat. So if we may comment about something or someone, and you say, well, who's that person? They're not here. Yeah. So there you go. And hello, Joan Baker. Don't worry about being late. All right. Let's add them, and let's do it again.
Oh, you do this for every question. That's so perfect. I might need this because I'm so bad at moderating all the questions.
Yeah. Miss Sherlock, please let us know that you're here. And we'll see what we can do, Miss Sherlock. Oh, there, Miss Sherlock said, okay. Yeah. My son is shy, but so talented. He wants to develop computer games and create stories, and is an amazing artist. Will he find a partner in his field? Okay. Let me just remove that. And let's see. Okay. Miss Sherlock, I'm sure that he is talented. However, talent is not often the only thing that's needed. You do, in order to move ahead, you do need to to have some education, some courses behind you, so that you are operating on the same level that the corporations are operating on, right? You don't want to be reinventing the wheel every time that he does that. So I think that without additional education, it's going to be a struggle. However, once he gets some courses and education and factual things behind him, I think there's going to be a breakthrough. And then, he's going to be able to do that. But you got to learn how to walk before you can run.
So just generally speaking, I'll say, and this is something that's been told to me time and time again, we're coming up upon a time, and this is just generally for everyone, where we are being pushed to pursue our passions no matter what conventional, like the past has dictated. So there is going to be a lot more flexibility in terms of we can do what we love and also survive, regardless of pay. So that's the first thing that I want to kind of highlight. So really, really pushing passion. So if that is his passion, don't let how our past society has kind of dictated success as, just knowing that what we put into it will be returned. So that's something that I feel compelled to share with this. Interestingly enough, the card I pulled is right in line with Marina. It's the Halls of Learning. So I think in a way that's part of this, is that we all need to learn how to pursue our passions, because if you ask some people, they're like, I don't know what that is. And it's, I didn't know that until, later in life. But I think that's a call for all of us to look at our passions. And if that's his true passions, that's excellent that he knows that. The second thing is that I got that, and I think this is part of the educational aspect. There's something in the education that one of his teachers is going to become the partner.
Wow.
So that also means him finding someone he really resonates with, whether that's school setting. It doesn't necessarily have to be a school setting, but someone who can lead him in directions in which will inspire him, but it will also spark this creativity that this teacher is going to be impressed by. Yes. If so, when? I honestly, time is difficult for me, because I know it doesn't really come into play on the spirit side, because they're always challenged by estimates. I think it's once that he finds that groove with someone that he can work with and learn from is when that will come through for him. So
absolutely. Well, Ms. Sherlock, I hope that was helpful. Okay. Well, let's do the next one. And the next person up is going to be, and get ready so you can let us know you're here. Oh. No.
It's a sign. Self-care.
Yeah. Exactly. Healthcare. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's draw again. Let's just draw again.
You're a winner. That's the message.
Yeah. And we have Joan Berga. Joan, let us know that you're here. And Ms. Sherlock, you're more than welcome. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yes, Lorraine, it's definitely a sign.
Maybe that's meaning that you should go play those lotto numbers.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay, just waiting, Joan. Let us know that you're here. And going once, going twice. All right, let us pick another winner. Yay! And we have Catherine Gopal. Catherine, let us know you're here.
That's interesting. I noticed one of her messages.
Okay. Yes. So Catherine, say, I'm here. I'm here. I'm a winner. And,
I found it. It's what does my financial medical coverage situation look like in the next months?
Okay, there she is. Catherine Gopal. And did you say that you found the question?
Yeah. What is my financial?
Okay.
What does my financial medical coverage situation look like in the next 6 months?
Oh, I see it. Okay, because I've not been starring those, so
I just happened to see that one as we were, which
perfect.
is interesting. But.
Perfect. All right. Okay. Let's do it. What does my financial medical coverage situation look like over the next 6 months? And mahalo to you as well. Okay. Interesting. You know what? You're going to do just fine. It is going to be just fine. I got the Page of Wands, looking at different options. These are different ideas coming in, so you're going to get creative in terms of how you're going to approach the financial and the medical. Don't discount anything that comes to you. Take a look at it and be willing to delve a little deep into it, because the oracle card that I got was abundance. So I think you're going to be just fine. Just be open to different ideas. Yeah.
Interesting.
Would you get the total opposite?
No, it's very in line. So I got taking a risk, venturing forward, the great adventure. Also, it's a time of transformation, fresh new energy. And then this one, which I don't see too often, is the Toadstools, which is about growth. And the Toadstools card, I think, kind of sums this all up. Meaning you're going to be fine. It's going to be good, but just be aware of things that you have. We walk through the forest to see the toadstools. We don't really assume there's much more to that, but it's actually a tremendous growth, part of the cycle. So this is kind of saying, reconsider all the options that will be laid out for you, and don't assume that something isn't right or an option isn't right for you on the surface. So this is a kind of looking beneath the surface. So doing your research, and it feels like it's not going to be something you necessarily would have anticipated or expected.
Yes.
And so that's part of this fresh new energy. So it's almost the eagles coming into looking from a higher perspective. Don't let other people tell you what to choose or what you need to do. Trust your instincts and your intuition, and it feels like a new life, new invigoration, and new possibilities. So don't let others cloud your judgment.
Perfect. There you go, Catherine. I hope that resonates. All right. Next, we have Dragon. For those who want the musical interlude.
They should have a music little thing.
They should. They should. Okay. Barb P, please let us know that you're here. Oh, and Barb P is here. Okay. All right. So, Barb, what is up for you? What is up for you right now? And what do you need to go forward? Hold on. What is up for you is... Okay. the Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race. The knights in the tarot are they're the guys who carry out the king's orders, right? And pentacles have to do with it's money, it's health, it's also values, traditions, and so on. So you're again, I just keep hearing, slow and steady wins the race. Just keep going at the level you're going. If you're concerned or worried about whether or not you'll be able to take care of yourself, yes, you will. And the oracle that I got was acceptance. Acceptance. And I'm drawn to that picture, in that here is a solitary person, clearly out in the middle of the ocean, on this little boat. The acceptance is understanding that you are being provided for, you are being taken care of. You may see choppy seas, you're fine. Accept it, you'll be great.
So, like, we're in line. It's so much. It's kind of tripping me up. You said wealth. You wrote down wealth, right? When you pulled it up, I felt like there's something health related. And then, okay, so what I got was, and sometimes I get herbs, which I don't really understand. Milk thistle, which I know is, sometimes the herbs that come through is actual like suggestion. Milk thistle, I know that's for detoxification, really good for the liver. And I feel like this is connected to wealth. So you might be experiencing some issues, or you might be worrying about issues surrounding wealth and abundance so much that it's causing toxins in your body. So I'm just, I think the thing here is recognizing that you have everything that you need right here in the right now in the moment. Sometimes we got so caught up in what if it goes away, or what's going to happen, yes, or I'm experiencing a little bit of rest now. Celebrate that and welcome more in, because the reading here, I feel like really feels like that it could be making you sick, or might going to be making you sick in terms of just worry and negative thinking patterns and everything else. So just knowing you have everything you need, and then, sending it out to the universe that I will be perpetually in the state of abundance and I don't need to worry. Yes. All will be okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I will just very, very quickly mention one of the things that I've said several times when it comes to putting things out to the universe, and to give you a little bit of an example. When you go out to a restaurant that you have always wanted to go to, you're greeted and the waiter will sit you at the table and they will provide you with a menu. And you look through the menu and you say, ooh, this looks interesting. That looks like a lot of fun. And you give the waiter your order. You don't follow the waiter into the kitchen to make sure that they give the cooks the order. You don't stand over top of the cook to make sure that they're preparing your meal. You simply give the waiter the order, and you sit back and you enjoy the company you're with. You enjoy the conversation with the full knowledge and faith that your meal is going to arrive when it is ready. So that's when you put things out into the universe, just think about that. You put it out there and you let it go. It's going to come in. Your job is not to follow the waiter into the kitchen. There. Okay.
I love that so much.
Feel free to use it.
No, that's actually really good for my own personal use, because, you get to that point where you kind of wonder if the spaghetti's coming, but you keep waiting. I mean,
yeah. Eventually we'll get there.
That's I really like that metaphor. So
perfect. Well, thank you.
Yes.
All right. let's. And Dawn had mentioned that she wasn't seeing the her thing in the in the tool, but Dawn, I'm sure it's in there. Okay, let's draw again. Who's next? Who's next? Dawn, I just saw you. You're in there. Dun, dun, dun. And our next winner is Chris Cassidy. Chris Cassidy, let us know that you're here. Yep. Let us know that you're here. And then yes, she's here. Or Chris, yes. Fabulous. Okay.
I need to go for my galactic deck for this one for some reason. I don't know why. It couldn't be the icon.
Hey, whatever. Okay. Chris, coming at you. Coming at you. Interesting. Interesting. Oh. All right. Chris, the tarot card that I got for you was the Devil. So what I heard was, it's okay to have fun. It's okay to give in to a little bit of excitement, but don't let the endorphins rule how you're making decisions. So, you can go a little fast. Just don't speed. Don't go 100 miles over the speed limit. So, and the Devil is also a little bit about, not a little bit about debauchery too. So if you've been feeling a little tired and that things are more and more turning into a challenge, then you don't have to accomplish everything in one day. You don't have to do everything in one day. What you're going to focus on is fulfillment. At the end of every day, just think about what you have accomplished more than what you need to accomplish. If that makes any sense, because I know what I'm feeling, and yet it's like the words are just not coming in. But yeah, concentrate on the fulfillment. Oh, Chris says it makes sense to me. Okay. Thank you.
The Devil, that was kind of an interesting tie-in. At least for me, my sense in terms of you, Chris, is the Devil is representative of free will and choice. And so there's a long history to that and story that's not our traditional conception of the Devil, but it's the validation that we always have free choice. And so that's really important for you in terms of that, especially now in the world that we're living in, there feels like that we're not having a lot of choices. And that's all I can guarantee you is all illusion, that we're not supposed to feel that way. And that's kind of that's the innate challenge here. It's not particulars of what's going on around you, because we want to internalize everything. If you're watching this, you're probably to some level an empath or a healer in some capacity. The world, you can't take on all the world's problems, and that's one of the lessons here for all of us. I think that maybe you might be one of those ones that's taking on too much, and there's a reason why that's happening. And I don't see this card ever. This is Memories Atlantis. So we are going through a time right now that is almost a carbon copy of what happened in Atlantis in terms of politics and corruption. And yes. I'm sure look into that. I won't get into all of it, but we're living that. And many of us who are here were there during that time. So a lot of the problems and the issues feel extremely deep and extremely like, I don't understand why I'm getting so upset about this. And it's because we have this energetic remembering that's going on. So I feel like this reading, at least for you, is the importance of breaking through that feeling in the facade. And got the divine matrix here. This is all about recognizing, and it's interesting how this puts it. It's not just synchronicities, it's God incidences. So this is really paying attention to the world around you as reminders of, don't get caught up in this. I don't want to say scam. Don't get caught up in the illusion. You're here to let this go, and that's one of our big challenges. It's hard. It's getting harder. We have to let it go, and we have to move on in our life, and that's putting to bed this massive collective trauma from the times of Atlantis. And so I think that that's important for you to hear based on this reading. And, I think it's good for all of us to hear too, because it's challenging, and it hits home because we've done this before. So
exactly. That's sometimes why we have that visceral reaction to it. It's like, oh, not again. But when that comes in, observe, don't absorb.
Yes.
Just observe.
Yes. Think of it as like the montage of all of our recent history over the decades, and that's like this is to remind us how far we've come, not where we are.
Exactly. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you, Chris. All right. And next we have Lorraine R. Lorraine, let us know that you're here. And Chris says on personal, and Lorraine R is here. Perfect. Chris Cassidy said, on a personal and worldly levels, thank you, Jason and Marina. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. And if any of you out there, even though we're reading for someone else, if what we're saying resonates with you, take it. Take it. Because, the message isn't simply for that one person. It's for all of us. All of us. Okay. So Lorraine is here. And let's get into it. Yeah. Look at that puppy.
Even when I do group hypnosis things online, it's always interesting because there is always, through people sharing their experiences, what they see, what they felt, and everything else, there is always just a general quote unquote, message or reading for everybody. So even though you might have randomly tuned in today, there's a reason why you're here.
Exactly.
So just keep that in mind too.
Yes, exactly. And that having been said, if you are here for the first time, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And in the description of the video, I've got Jason's information in his channel. So go over there and do the same thing. Give him a like, share, and subscribe. Because there are people out there who want to hear what it is that we're saying. They just don't know where we are and who we are. So, yeah. When you do that, you help them find us. Okay. So, Lorraine, things you're about to get really, really creative. If you're feeling like there's something that you want to do, something that you want to try that you hadn't thought about trying before, absolutely go for it. I get the Ace of Wands, and wands are all about fire, all about getting out there and just really being open to using your imagination, to following through on things that you that up until now you're only imagining. Go for it. One of the benefits when you do that is you're going to hold on. Let me take that off so that you can see the card that I'm pulling. One of the benefits is freedom. Freedom. You're the more creative that you are, the more that you give into that, the more that you're going to find things are just going to start falling into place. So, oh, perfect. And Lorraine says, I will be 70 in 11 days and I work 2 jobs. I have been feeling the need to just get out and explore a little bit, especially lately. Thank you, Marina. There, do it. Do it, do it, do it.
So I actually pulled 2 different decks because the first one I was a little fuzzy. And it's interesting. One of the things that's popping forward, and I think it's interesting that you said you need to get out a little bit more. The cards are saying you need to create a sacred space for yourself. And do this exploration is more about, it can be indoors, it can be outdoors, or indoors or outdoors. But this is an exploration that's meant to be outside and inside of yourself. There is this push for in the enlightenment. I pulled that card. And then this other deck that I pulled from, also finding sanctuary, opening up to your spiritual source. So I think this is an invitation more for you, that inspiration to get out more. You don't necessarily have to go anywhere. It's just exploring yourself and opening up to that.
Yeah.
That idea might bring on the distant thunder. But this card isn't about a storm that's coming. It's the storm that might rage when you start thinking about, oh, I have to think about myself. I have to do this. Just keep in mind, the growth that's involved in exploration, because it's really, you're learning about yourself along the way. So whether it's indoors, outdoors, making the journey about yourself, as well as wherever you go, or if you don't go anywhere, that's fine too.
And she says, I completely understand what you're telling me, Jason. Thank you.
Oh, I don't hear you. Is that me?
Oh, did we lose sound?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Da, 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 da. Uh-oh.
Oh.
I can hear you.
Let me check my sound. Sorry.
Because we can hear you. Yay. And Monica says, yeah, I hear you both. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So it's probably something on Jason's end. I'm hearing a wind turbine.
I don't hear anything. I'm so sorry.
No. Hold on. Let me. I'm just quickly going to write something down. Okay. We hear you.
Okay. So I will go along with my earbuds are working. It's so strange. This happened earlier before we came on today, so I'm not sure what spirit guide is playing with me.
So, somebody's having fun. And hey, Bobby. Bobby said, Jason, we summon you to come. Be with us now. Yes. So could be, could be the earbuds. Okay, Jennifer, that might be an idea. I don't know if you can see that.
Disconnect and reconnect earbuds.
It's worth a try. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here with us. I really appreciate it. I'm really um, enjoying this show. And
It's so weird because I like test it.
oh,
I'm being summoned.
yes. Hi, Jane. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll just go off of what I read on screen. I have no idea. I even tried my computer speakers and it's not working.
Okay. Because yeah, we hear you. I'm not sure why you're. Oh, and I'm talking to him like he can hear me. All right. All righty. Thank you, Bobby. I didn't.
Okay.
Thanks, Jane. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, we can certainly do that. I just wasn't sure if, as Jason is trying to figure out all the other things, if he would just see the little red mark on the private chat. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, Bobby, that happened to you. Okay, let's see.
I hear you. Raven was right.
Yay!
So weird.
Perfect. Yeah, he says that happens to him. So wonderful.
It's just, yeah. Okay.
All right. So there we go. There we go. All right. We'll have time for one, maybe two more. Let's see. So and next. Play Love Remember. Yay. Play Love Remember. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're here. Yeah.
Thank you, Wild Raven. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bobby. Yeah. So let us know that you're here. Play Love Remember, and we'll pull some cards. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And yeah, there she is. Yeah, did the wave. All right. Well, let me take this the stage. And what do we have for Play Love Remember? Okay. It's funny because I'm getting the sense with some of the cards that have come out that we are all being encouraged to just not take things too seriously. You know, like look at the big picture, because what I get for you, Play Love, is the Page of Pentacles. So again, this is about prosperity, health, wealth, your values, and so on. If you have been thinking about or worried about how things are going to go, stop worrying. Stop worrying. I got the Flow card. Just go with the flow. Think of it this way: the more time that you spend in worry is less time that you're able to spend in gratitude. And you want to live a life in gratitude, because that's what you're going to attract, right? What you focus on is what you attract. So relax, you got this, and yeah, just go with the flow.
Interestingly, so you have a very female-centric poll that I have for you here. All very strong women figures in terms of the readings. So divine feminine all the way. So that's your primary message there, connecting with divine feminine, celebrating earth and creativity and nature and everything else. One of these cards is the traveler card. I know you mentioned South Africa, so I'm not sure if you're there now or if you've traveled since then. This card usually comes up when you are a traveler at heart, meaning that you get a little antsy if you're in one place too much. So if you are feeling about needing to relocate, it's good for your soul. I think this goes back to the other reading with exploration. It's part of who you are, and you learn so much about yourself along the way. The other card is the Water Guardian. This is encouraging you to the flow, also connecting with your emotions, getting out of the rational mind, allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to heal. Dare I say, cry. That's when the healing happens. Even in my work as in hypnosis and regression, when a client cries, that's actual healing, and really not the goal, but it's a good sign. And the last one is you're releasing your inner she-wolf. And so this is whatever you take that to mean. A little of passionate exploration, whether that be physical or
Hi, Marty.
Going after your instincts, trusting your intuition. So again, everything in line with divine feminine. So really tapping into that, whether you do that regularly or not, it's especially important for you now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she says yes.
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 Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. That was someone else's comment.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So we are we are 1 hour and 7 minutes, and I'm really hoping that Jason will agree to come back. And
yes.
So I don't want to keep him here for hours, so then he says, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not doing a 3-hour show." So I'm going to be mindful of the time.
Yeah, definitely. I will come back. This was great.
Perfect. Yes, enjoyed this very, very much. And do we want to just do a collective and just pull a couple cards for?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to go to a completely different deck for that oracle. And you're welcome, Elle. So this is from the Trish James signature oracle deck. And of all the things that we've been talking about today, look, I got searching. Find yourself. Be true to who you are. And then slow down and take your time. It's not a race, right? We are all going to get to where we need to go eventually. So don't try to rush the process. And when you spend time in knowing yourself, really being able to look at yourself and accept the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Because we all have a little bit of everything. So it will be a worthwhile journey, because learning about yourself helps you to understand others better. So, yeah, find yourself and slow down.
Interestingly, different deck, same card from earlier. So this is one of those, I think, universal messages. We are going
Yes.
through a time of transmutation, not just
Yes.
transformation. So this is complete burning down, reconfiguring, moving the way up. But that's not to say don't focus just on the fire, focus on what comes and grows afterwards, because that's really where we're headed. So I think that that's important. Interestingly, this I think reaffirms everything will be well, everything will be prosperous. This is just a transition, um, and I've been told time and time again, things are going to get difficult, and it's only because the light has won. So this is like we're going through just kind of the muck. So just keeping that in mind, it's only temporary. Another aspect to this card that always pops out to me is not the message, but the imagery. And I talk about this so much, and I think it's just so important because it's bringing the magic back in our lives through as being a practitioner. I've had people that just haven't gone to other human lifetimes, and there's one that always stands out to me. It reawakened my own, like, oh my God, this is real. She went to the life of a fairy, and it was awesome. I was taken completely off guard, and I asked her questions, and she lived a life of a fairy. A lot of their days were spent having feasts and celebrations. Sometimes some of her brothers would play tricks on humans that came through the forest and hide their tools. But one of her favorite insects were the bumblebees, because they would bring pollen for their feasts. It was just the most awesome lifetime. And so with what I do, after you go through your lifetime, you ask that person's higher self, why did you show it? And they said she's gotten into this period where she's taking everything too seriously, and she's so down on herself, and she's taking the world on her shoulders, and she needs to remember she's a fairy at heart. She's had many lifetimes of that where it's carefree. There's no worries, no concerns. There's nothing to worry about, having fun, like making connections. Their community was, they had children, but nobody was somebody's child. It was like a collective society. And it feels weird to be talking about fairies, but I think it's an important image for us to know that, we all have these lifetimes, and when you're down in the dumps, just don't picture yourself riding around on a bumblebee, but just remember there's other ways in which we can connect with magic that we thought may have died a long time ago. And so it's just important.
No, it's there. It's there. Yeah. You just be willing to look at it. Right? Just be willing to look at it and acknowledge that it's there.
And I think just kind of further supports it. The Wizard of the Woods encouraging us to focus on what matters, focus on fun. The highest vibration is laughter and joy. And so the more we put out there, the more that we help each other. So.
Exactly. Well, thank you. Thank you, all of you who have joined us. I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate your support. And Jason, absolutely, I would love to have you.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Yes. Definitely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
All right, well, everyone, take care. And we'll see you later. Bye for now.